So Bobby Lashley and MVP are out for the Open Challenge. Bobby says he did all of his talking last night. And MVP says that they are lucky to be here in Bobby Lashley's presence. He brings up the Dallas Cowboys and that it's been decades since you people have seen a winner. He says that Kofi Kingston was right. The champion had lost his edge with the women and the champagne, but it lit an inferno inside of Bobby Lashley, and anyone that challenges him will face utter annihilation and decimation. No one will take this championship from Lashley. No more women, no more champagne, no more games, no more bullshit, which they censored this time.
No, they did.
Yes.
Make for a nice t-shirt. No
they
more
call
champagne.
Bobby the most dominant champion in the history of this company. And Lashley asks who is going to answer the challenge. And there to answer it is Keith Lee, who has been gone since February.
A real big surprise. I mean, they do call him Texas's own Keith Lee here. But a big surprise because I feel like the anticipation, of course, was Goldberg. When Keith Lee came out, I mean, you risk the crowd being disappointed, but I would say that he received a good response, and maybe to some fans, maybe even an improvement over Goldberg.
I had a lot of thoughts about this. So Lee comes out, and they have a relatively short match. They went just under 6 minutes. Lee was in control early. He got to do his like mid-ring crossbody, and then Lashley takes over. He avalanches him against the post. MVP distracts, and Lashley nails him on the apron, hits a running spear on the floor, and then goes for the hurt lock, and Lee is able to throw Lashley off, and then lifts, and Lashley lifts and slams him, and finally hits the spear to pin Keith Lee in 550. So at the end of this, I'm just thinking that, okay, you've got Keith Lee coming back. Did he have to be thrown in front of the Mack truck on this show back? Like, this was the role that should have been for Xavier Woods.
Yeah.
He stands up for his friend who's not here tonight. He doesn't have Kofi with him, and he gets brutalized. Fine. Keith Lee, goddamn do they need baby faces on this show. And he comes out, and, like, why put him in the line of fire here on your first night? It's like, we want to make this as hard as possible for us to get somebody over with our audience.
He should have
got to slot him immediately as not at this level.
You should have done this to Karrion Kross. You know, you're gonna fuck Karrion Kross up anyway. Might as well
I'm not even
kill
kidding,
the
Way,
NXT champion.
If your idea was to beat Karrion Kross, like, I almost would have rather Karrion Kross confronts Bobby Lashley. I don't care if it's heel on heel, and we just get the loss of Karrion Kross as something more important.
They're both terrible ideas, so they shouldn't have done it. But you're absolutely right. I think Keith Lee did not need to be in this position. You know, Lee is a guy that you can potentially build to a big match against a Bobby Lashley for a pay-per-view. You do this, and there's really no interest to that whatsoever anymore. You firmly instead, I will say, at least they both Keith Lee to be far more competitive than a Kofi Kingston. So in a viewer's mind, Keith Lee at least ranks above a Kofi Kingston in terms of, I suppose, dominance. But, you know, ultimately, you kind of killed the man's chances of being a main event level threat on the first night. And that's really unfortunate because it was really nice to see Keith Lee back here, clear from whatever issues he was dealing with. The big return should have been a big moment, and it was in front of a Texas crowd. In front of any crowd, it would have been. But I think the end result is one that really kind of kills that momentum, unfortunately.
It's just like you have this fresh opportunity to reintroduce him. Like, I just think you could have easily slid Woods into this role and accomplished everything. Anybody else. Like, there's a storyline connection with Woods, and that would just naturally lead you to, you know, you still play everything out the same way. So Lashley's...
I understand them, like, wanting to continue. Like, they want it to be an impressive Bobby Lashley match. And why would they... see? And they probably wanted at least a lengthy Bobby Lashley match. And how can Woods potentially go 10 minutes with Bobby Lashley when Bobby Lashley had no issue at all with Kofi Kingston? That's my reasoning. And also the fact that they're in Texas, I imagine they wanted to use tonight to, like, re-debut him. But Lee is somebody that's worth
debut him on this show. I have nothing against using him on this show, but man, give me something here. Like
he could have won a 2-on-1 against Slapjack and what's his name? T-Bar
and Mace.
Sure.
I just think they make it way harder than pro wrestling needs to be for a company that preaches momentum. I wish they could understand. They need to take a science course.